Thanks for sticking with us. Since losing to Petal in Week 3, the Gulfport Admirals have ripped off 8 consecutive wins.
Blake Pennick's side with an opportunity to get revenge tonight and punch their ticket to the South State title game.
For more on the final 7A Coast team remaining in the playoffs, let's head out to Milner Stadium where the Leaf Blowers are going, and Tyler Bell has highlights and reaction. Tyler.
Yeah, well, we got to get the stadium nice and clean for next week, so you can't blame them on that one. But, I mean, Gulfport had every reason to put 150, 200% effort into this game. Obviously, the loss earlier this year, and they got knocked out of the playoffs last year in the first round by Petal. These stands were packed for this game, and we'll say that half of these fans were happy they showed up. Let's take a look at those highlights. This is playoff football. Gulfport hoping to strike back against a team that did them dirty earlier this year. Panthers were expecting the run, so Gulfport gets cracking with the pass game early. Parker Nettles dropping back, heaving it downfield to Camden Morgan early in the game. Completely burned the defender and gets in for an easy 6. Not long after, Admirals have the ball back, and nobody notices number 4, Javius Hales, on the near sideline. He gets to go for 60 yards, no problem at all. Panthers struggle on offense, but the pass from Nettles is tipped at the line and falls in the hands of the linebacker, Deshaun Jones, who gets some blockers, and the Panthers have their first and only touchdown of the game. Admirals are up 24-10 at this point in the half. Nettles rolling out wide, and he says, you know what, guys, back off. I got it. Looks like Jay Cutler here blows through 2 Panthers, and the Admirals in the half up 31-10. The rest of the game is more of the same. Admirals keep rolling, and the Panthers just cannot stop it, and they can't break through that mean defense. Final score is 45-10, and Coach Pennick's team keeps making it look easy.
Well, for the last 2 months, I've been saying nothing but 1-0, and our guys believe in that. I think their preparation reflects that, and so I think our play reflects our preparation, and so next thing's up. Whoever we play is 1-0.
And I don't know what you're supposed to do whenever you face this team. Their offense cannot be stopped. Their defense cannot be broken through. There's no hotter team in Mississippi than Gulfport. And I think before this, everybody kind of assumed that, hey, this would probably be the last game of the season at home. But with that upset, Brandon, over Oak Grove, I do believe that gives them the home game next week. So that's going to be phenomenal to see some more Admiral football here. I mean, who's going to stop them? Somebody's got to step up and do it, or not. Maybe we have some state champs down here on the coast. But that is tonight's game of the week. And luckily, the Friday night lights are still on, so you can see me nice and well. But for now, from Milner Stadium, Tyler Bell, WLOX News Now.
Tyler, shifting gears to 4A, Poplarville battling McComb for the second time this season. The Tigers down the Hornets 35-34 back in Week 6. Direct snap, that's Mr. 4A football Ty Keys getting plenty of cardio in tonight, going over 40 yards for the score. Pop on top 7-0. Now Keys, he's a nice guy. He's going to share this touchdown with a McComb defender as he drags him into the end zone. 14-zip Hornets. Jaquan Lizana going to chuck it up in double coverage, and Sheldon Hackett grabs it over 2 defenders for the score. 14-7, Poplarville still on top. Speaking of Poplarville, do I even need to say his name? I mean, he goes by Showtime for a reason. Keys has had 4 or more touchdowns in each round of the playoffs. A big reason why the Hornets are headed to the South State as they take down McComb 55-20.
Revenge there for Poplarville. Ty Keys, electric. Showtime for a reason. I like that line.
I like interviewing him. He's he's such a ball of energy. I mean, on and off the field, you just see so much from him.
Absolutely electric. And we're not done in 4A. Pass Christian going on the road tonight to battle Columbia. These two sides entered the night with a combined 23-1 record, but only one team, and it's a real shame that only one team can advance, but only one team, and it has the ability to punch its ticket to the South State title game. Let's head up to the Pine Belt where WLX's own Will Polston has highlights from the much anticipated clash.
For Pass Christian, they are fighting for a spot in the South State Championship, which would mark the farthest the Pirates have ever made it in program history. To get there, they're in Columbia to take on the Wildcats, an undefeated team who has been a buzzsaw all year in 4A. We're going to pick things up late in the first quarter with Columbia on offense. Quarterback Clyde Peters is going to take the snap and follow his back for the block before cutting outside and breaking the plane. This is going to give the Wildcats an early 7-0 lead and would be the only score in the first half. Pass Christian more or less defeating themselves, dropping 3 passes and allowing 4 sacks in the first half. Even though the offense wasn't clicking, it was still only a 1-possession game going into the break. But that wouldn't last for long. Second play back from the half. Peters gonna cut right and then find a hole. It's a foot race to the end zone, and one that Peters is gonna win. His second rushing touchdown of the game, and that's gonna increase the Wildcat lead to 14. Now Pass fumbles the following kickoff, giving Columbia great field position, and this time Ashton Daniels is gonna get the handoff, and he's gonna find the end zone for a score. Wildcats go from a 1-possession lead to a 3-possession lead in less than 3 minutes into the half. Columbia is just going to prove to be too much for the Pirates as they bring their season to an end. Final score in this one, 41-6.
Thank you, Mr. Will Polston. A great season for Pass unfortunately comes to an end tonight. Let's look at scores from around the 4A bracket. Clarksdale and Louisville. Louisville 34-16 winners. Last year, Poplarville had to beat Louisville in the state championship game. They are off to face Kosciuszko, who beat Corinth tonight 14-3. McComb and Poplarville, we showed you highlights from that game. Poplarville, a big-time win after falling 35-34 earlier in the season to the McComb Tigers. Columbia downing Pass Christian, as we just showed you there. And this is what the bracket here looks like. Poplarville has a date up in Columbia next week.
Taking a look at the 7A results, we've got Tupelo, Germantown. Tupelo inching that one out, winning by only a score, and Oxford winning by 10 against Horn Lake. Oak Grove losing by 3 against Brandon. They're going to set up a matchup against Gulfport, and they took down Petal. Now checking out the teams in the final, it's going to be Tupelo going against Oxford, and Gulfport, they've got a date with the Bulldogs as they face off against Brandon at home.
And real quick, guys, I'm just going to say something about this 7A region there. I don't know if we can bring that back up. Maybe, well, I guess we're going to go to break here in a second. But Brandon is playing without a head coach, really, right now. Their head coach was gone, and here we go. Yeah, real quick. Brandon was playing without a head coach for almost the entire second half of the season. They are now into the South State title game. This is a fascinating dynamic here because Tupelo has 2, maybe 3 of the best players in the state on their team. They're going against an Oxford side led by Knox Kiffin. Of course, a lot right now are surrounding the future of Lane Kiffin in Oxford. His son, the quarterback for the Oxford Chargers, going to at least have one more week here. If they were to go to the state title game and Lane Kiffin, in theory, were to go to another program, Knox would be playing in a state title game, and his dad might not be in the state, and Gulfport could be the other team in that game.